Hi guys, Kaza here. Welcome back. We're back with some more Office Lovers with Mr. Sadayoshi Saijo. Saijo Sadayoshi. Whichever way you want to go with. I don't know how they write. I don't know if they write first name to last or last name to then first, so I. Janya. Here. Hello, Mr. Saijo. Anyway, yeah, so we're on chapter 3. Before we start that, don't forget to vote on who we'll be doing next. It'll be in the card below or above on the screen. Just click there and you can vote. Or you can post it in the comment section on who you like the best. And let's try hit 10 likes on this video. That'd be great and help us out. And let me know how much you enjoy the series. So let's get going. Chapter 3, Fickle Passion. The weekend had finally arrived and I went to town to buy some things. I think I've got everything I came here for. Huh? A familiar figure was walking in front of me. Mr. Saijo? Hey, I didn't expect to see you here. Are you out shopping? Yeah, I ran out of some things. What are you here for? I heard about some trendy lipstick from an associate and I went to check it out. Really? I was thinking about researching the most popular ones the other day. I could tell you what I learned if you want. That sounds great. I'd love to hear it. Sure, but not here. I know it's the weekend, but how about we head to work and talk about it? Okay, it would be more helpful to look at our data that way while we talk anyway. I'd rather be going somewhere that isn't for work with you on the weekend. Oh well. There you go again. I'm serious. I always tell the truth. I was thinking about how nice it would be to have a date with you. Cut it out. I told you it's not going to happen. Okay, I got it. My heart started racing when he became serious. I was able to hide my feelings by telling him off. I walked away, pressing him to follow me. Maybe this was a good chance to finally tell him, now that we were alone. I thought about the emails he had written to me lately. At the end of his mail, he always apprehended some sort of message. Like, I love you and stuff. Huh? Never mind. You can't do that. No, I'm curious. He looked at me with such a sad face that I couldn't resist. You know those emails he sent me? What about them? You know full well. I'm sure he's pretending not to know just to tease me. You write messages to me whenever you send an email. Of course I do. It's an email. Why are you blushing? Seriously, he's blushing again. I don't, You know what I mean? I love you, or you're beautiful. He smirked at me and leaned in to whisper in my ear. I can't help it. My hands just move on their own. The deep tone of his voice surprised me, and I jumped backwards to his amusement. It made my ear tingle, so I rubbed it and hurried towards the office without looking back. I heard laughter and a voice yelling at me to stop from behind, but I ignored it. When I arrived at the office, I opened my files and notepad and went straight into my work mode. I did that mostly because I didn't want to think about being in the meeting room alone with him. Are you done talking about the email so soon? I'm putting that problem aside for now, which means you'll talk about it later. That makes me happy, even if you call it a problem. We've come to work, so let's talk about work. That's why I came here. You're such a good worker. It makes me proud as a boss, but a little sad as a man. Would you be so kind as to tell me what you've learned about your research? Fine, I get it. He threw up his arms and surrendered before he pulled out some documents from his bag. As soon as he laid them down, he scanned them with his eyes and put on his game face. It seemed that diligent face of his was memorizing, but I could never tell him anything of the sort. From what I've learned, pink is a trending color lately, but there are many different types. Is there a push for any Christmas products? There is every year, so I'm sure there will be plenty. What to do? Right, red is popular as well, but not as much as pink right now. Look at this data for the reds. We both fixated our eyes on the report. Look at the third from the top. The color there is not oil-based. That's rare. What is it then? It's made entirely of natural ingredients. You studied the data carefully while I waited nervously for him to comment. What if we mixed in organic ingredients like fruit or something red? If it had a nice scent to it, that would be good. It wouldn't be hard to color either. Our meeting continued like that for some time after. Well, we actually need a sample to see how it colors and fades, but this is it for now. Do you think a sample is doable? With all this data, it shouldn't be a problem. We can submit this and have one made in no time. Great. It felt good to finally be at the stage where we could run a product sample. I was ecstatic, and we both smiled at each other. The concept would never come this far if it wasn't for Mr. Saijo. He amazed me. Soon enough, our new product would be on the path to success. With materials and colors decided, I was feeling really good about our progress. We'd already applied for a sample request, and now there was nothing to do but wait for it. I can't see how it turns out. With so many great people helping, it was sure to turn out amazing. I was in such a good mood, I almost started to skip on my way to work. I'm getting way too excited. I didn't even have a sample yet, so I needed to calm down. I took a deep breath to relax and swung open the door into the office. Good morning. Suddenly everyone turned their heads towards me and stared. What was going on? Everyone looked so bitter. No one was even responded to my greeting. They continued to stare at me with unfriendly eyes. Okay, why did I get angry? Okay, if you're gonna ignore me, I'll ignore you. Yeah, they screwed something up. I couldn't recall anything like that happening, though. I tried not to let it get to me, but it still made me curious. There was no point in letting it ruin my attitude, so I shrugged it off. I walked to my desk to see Mr. Kaido and Mr. Saijo nearby. Good morning. What's going on? There's a lot you need to know, so Mr. Saijo will help you catch up. Something bad went down. I have time to talk. I could tell by the look on their face how grave of a situation it was. Yeah. An email you sent to me got sent to the entire company. One that I sent? Who cares? Well, these are lost words. It didn't seem like a big deal to me, though. Well, he put cheesy notes to me in his emails. All mine were professional. Where his mail that got leaked, it might have been a problem, but mine were safe. What's so bad about it, Mr. Saijo? I'll finish the rest. Mr. Saijo took a step closer to explain what Mr. Saijo was having a hard time saying. Basically, an email in your name was sent to Mr. Saijo. It was essentially a love letter. A love letter? From me? What? My scream echoed throughout the entire office. Wait a second, there must be some sort of confusion. Unfortunately, it was sent out to every email account in the company. I never sent anything like that. Never mind. I was about to say that if it really had been sent a love letter to him, I would have checked first. I didn't want to make this any worse than it really was. I looked to the ground since everyone was staring at me except Mr. Kaido, who was looking at my computer. Hey, Saijo, wake up. Take a look at the computer. What? Sorry, do you care if I search around? Mr. Saijo was acting strange. His face looked a little bit more red than usual. Go ahead, search whatever you want. There's no reason for me to feel guilty. I went over back away from my desk and let him take over. Instead, he reached over me from behind to use the mouse. It was almost a hug. He was right up on me. I could feel the warmth of his body on my back. Mr. Saijo, move away. His cheeks seemed a bit flushed to me. Well, they are. And I love it when they're flushed. I'm weird. I think I just like it when the guys blush. Before he could become entranced by his handsome face, I tried to relax myself. The office was dead silent except for the clicking of my keyboard. Mr. Saijo brought up screen after screen, none of which I had ever seen before. What was he doing even? Someone good at computers might know, but not me. All I could do was watch him work on the screen with techie words all over it. Hey. We whispered to each other so quiet that no one else could hear. Thanks. You must be thanking me for what I said about sending a love letter. Yeah. No one noticed we whispered it any longer, so he stopped with that. He continued pressing keys at a blazing speed with incredible focus. I listened to his breath and watched his fingers. He was the only thing on my mind right now. Every time his body pushed against mine, my chest thumped harder. This was no time to be thinking about him, but I couldn't stop myself. What was wrong with me? The office was full of people, yet the only sound was that of Mr. Saijo typing on the keyboard. My heart was starting to beat fast with his arm wrapped around me to reach the mouse. Did you figure anything out? Hold on, it'll just be another minute. Okay. Don't worry, I'll prove you're innocent. Huh? I'm telling you just to hold tight until I clear this up for you. He calmly reassured me, never taking his eyes off the screen. Still, everyone was giving me a nasty look. I felt so alone and hopeless until he spoke those words to me. It made me want to cry. Thank you, Mr. Saijo. He glanced at me and plopped his hand down upon my head. A few minutes passed. I've got it. This computer has traces of being hacked. Seriously? I figured as much. There's no way I could imagine you sending a love letter to everyone. Mr. Kaido, thank you. Don't thank me. Thank him. Why had I forgotten? Mr. Saijo, thank you so very much. I jumped out of my chair so quickly I almost tumbled over before bowing deeply to him. I can't thank you enough. If you hadn't been here, I'd... I appreciate it, but before you thank me, you need to report this to someone. Okay. Thinking it would be a good idea to let the CEO know, I started to walk away. Before I could get anywhere, Mr. Saijo turned to face all the angry stares. Mr. Saijo? What's going on? Listen, everyone. Her computer was hacked. She has nothing to do with it. There was no reaction from the crowd except that they started to whisper among themselves. Oh, he's pissed. I could tell Mr. Saijo was furious by just looking at his eyes. He was always looked so gentle, making all the scarier. Make sure your computers are free from viruses. If this computer is hacked, your computers are on the same network are also vulnerable. It'd be a shame if you all got hacked and everyone saw what you've been doing. Mr. Saijo. With that, everyone returned back to their seats looking a bit worried. What have you all been doing? I marched all the way to the CEO's office, but my legs locked up, too nervous to enter. It'll be fine. Alright. Mr. Saijo stood next to me and put his hand reassuringly upon my shoulder. Strange. All it took was that gesture to wipe out all my nervousness. Relax. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. I did as he said. Okay. That's it. Breathe in and out. You've nothing to fear. You're innocent. I would never blame you or let anyone talk bad about you. Thanks. You belong to me. Don't listen to anything anyone else tells you. Okay. I don't know, though. You're right. No, you're right. Why would I not know? You're right. He was the one who tried to help me back there. I'm the one who would stick up for you in this entire world, from now on until I die. Mr. Saijo. I slowly opened my eyes to see his face right in front of me, staring at me. So, don't worry. I'm here for you. Thank you. That means a lot to me. No need to thank me. It's the truth. I'm not afraid anymore. Great. Let's go. Okay. I pushed open the door to Mr. Otori's office. We forgot about knocking. Excuse me. Rarely did I ever need to enter his office. When I came in, 2 men were staring at me. Come in. Welcome. Can you tell us what's going on? Yeah. I took a step forward. I've got your back. Your whisper gave me strength, and I stood up with confidence. He was my ally. He was gentle but assertive, but I could rely on him for anything. I collected my thoughts and began to explain what had happened. To explain the situation to them, I left the room shaken but in one piece. I felt so drained of energy, but I swayed on my feet. Mr. Saijo held me so I could walk. I'm fine. I tried to push myself away from him, but it only caused me to stumble. Mr. Saijo helped me stand once again. Take it easy, you're exhausted. That was pretty courageous of you back there. Sorry, thanks. He put his arm around my waist to support me. I felt his warmth seep through my clothes. If only I could close my eyes and stay like this, I could easily forget all my worries. Mr. Saijo? What is it? Thanks for coming to my defense and sticking up for me. It's only natural. You didn't do anything wrong. Didn't I tell you that I would protect you no matter what? You would? No matter where or when, I'll be there for you. Just days ago, I would have thought he was joking. His face was close to mine that I had to turn away. I'm fine now. Let's go. We have to explain this to everyone else. Let's just stay like this for a moment. His arm pulled me closer to him. No, what if someone sees? Just for a bit, please. Fine. 5 seconds. Thanks. While he was holding me, my entire body fell into a trance. I no longer cared if someone saw us. 5 seconds was long, but I didn't care. My mind and body were at ease. I never felt like this ever before. There was nothing more, but I wanted to stay like this. I surprised even myself. It's time. Okay, that was the deal. Let's go. As we walked onwards, he matched my pace to walk alongside me. It really felt like he was escorting me, protecting me from harm. I purposely slowed my pace. Since we couldn't hold each other longer, I wanted to walk next to him as long as I could. Back at the office, the first ones to come running up were Mahiro and Kintaro. The others in the room were still looking at me with cold glares. You're finally back. I heard what happened. I'm so worried for you. Are you okay? What did Mr. Otori and Mr. Hyoga say to you? Does Mr. Hyoga up higher up on the food chain than I think he is? These two were in the office when I came in this morning and had no idea either. Sorry for making you two worry. Mr. Saijo came with me and helped explain that I had been hacked. With that, Mr. Saijo stepped up close next to me. Very close. It's only natural for me to come to her side since I'm her boss. Had I not helped, we would have never figured out she was hacked. He was right. I don't think I could prove I was innocent if not for him. So, do you two get what I'm saying? Yeah, it's great to hear you're okay. Bye. Uh-huh. I'm glad it worked out so quick. Well, I must be going. Mm-hmm. Mr. Saijo gave them a nice big smile. They hurried away to their seats. In their place, Mr. Kaido approached us. I'm sorry for all the trouble I caused. You don't need to apologize for me. Anyway, was Mr. Otori convinced about the hacking? The two of them began a serious discussion, so I decided to keep quiet. He thinks that it was some sort of prank, but he's still troubled that it was addressed from her to me. Is there anything on your computer that might make you suspicious? Mr. Kaido gave Mr. Saijo a challenging glance. In response, he just smiled. If they found Mr. Saijo's emails to me, that would be real bad. I never wrote anything like that before. I can vouch for that. I know better than anyone that she would never do something like that. Don't say things like that, especially at work. You're gonna make it worse than it already is. Well, work it out between yourselves. I can't help you there. Mr. Kaido turned away and left. I wondered what he meant by that. Suddenly, I was being dragged by my arm. Come on, we can talk outside. It's almost lunch anyhow. Okay. His expression revealed the problem was a lot more serious than I had ever thought. We headed into a restaurant, picking seats that were the furthest away from anyone else. Our food had already come, but my appetite wasn't there, so I sipped on coffee instead. What I would need to point out is the fact that someone knows about our relationship. I thought that too. Come on, eat up. It will help you feel better. Okay. He hadn't touched his food despite what he said. Tension hung thick in the air. It's all my fault anyway. I came on to you even though we were told not to have a relationship. But wait, if they just wanted to get us in trouble for that, then how come... Wait, if it's a love letter they needed, you've actually written those to me. Why would they go through the effort of sending one from me to you? Isn't there any reason they couldn't have hacked your computer, right? It's the same as yours, being a company computer and all. Which means they could have hacked yours if they wanted to, but they didn't. I think there's some reason behind having the mail sent by me. I see. I bet it's someone in our project that did it. Mr. Saijo, you shouldn't say that. I was joking. There's no one in our team that has the guts to do something like that anyhow. There's only a few among us that could have hated our guts while hiding it that well. And I know for sure if one of them did it just by looking at them. So relax. Whoever did it isn't anyone you know, at least not at first glance. His face was calm and confident, so much so that it seemed scary. How was he so sure of it when he had only just started to work with the others recently? It surprised me how he was able to claim such things so easily with a straight face. We just have to wait and see. Whoever did it is likely to strike again sometime. Unfortunately, I'll also have to stop sending you messages for the time being. He reached out and clasped my hand. Mr. Saijo? I was embarrassed, but I couldn't find it in me to pull away. I fell victim to his eyes. The old me would have shook his hand off, but I had changed since then. I couldn't move away. I needed his warmth. His gaze pulled me in, and for a moment, time had stopped. He was the center of my life. Mr. Saijo. He squeezed my hand and smiled like an angel. I'll think of something. Something that will make whoever did it think twice about coming near you again. His voice was cold as ice. It's already this late? Busy working on reports before I knew it, the office was almost vacant. It was around 9 o'clock. I picked up my things and stood up from my chair. Good night. There were only a few people left, but there was no one near me, so I snuck out of the office. Though my name was in the clear, I couldn't help but feel guilty to have a work relationship. To that end, I had been avoiding people as much as possible. The city was bustling and people were excited. It was Friday. I was the only one wearing a frown. All the stress and worries weighed on my shoulders. I felt like running away. I need to cheer up. No matter how hard I thought, there was no likely suspect for what had happened. According to Mr. Saijo, the suspect wasn't likely someone I knew, so at least that was a relief. You just can't rely on Mr. Saijo for everything. He said he would stop sending messages, but I needed to do my part too. Much to his disappointment, I had to keep my distance from him or might raise red flags. Huh? In front of me were two familiar figures. It was Mr. Saijo and Mr. Kaido walking and having a conversation. Were they heading home? Scared them. Boo, right? No, well, just talk to them like a normal person, right? I should try calling their name. I never got to say goodbye to them today. Being at my pace, I got near them, but there were so many people out for the weekend. Hey, you're so cute. Why don't you come into our bar for a while? A person out to get customers got in my path and started talking to me. Darn it! I hurried back to get close to them again. I shoved my way to a distance close enough to hear. I took a deep breath to shout at them. It was a split second before I opened my mouth when I heard their voices. That was a little rash, I know. Even Mr. Hyoga heard about it. How many times did I tell you to be careful? Yeah, I know. I'll be more clever about it next time. Can you say that to Muraki's face? Who the heck's Muraki? Wait, hey, heading home? Yes, I was going to say hi, but then I got distracted by your conversation. Wait, what? I guess they spotted me. What? Whatever, no big deal. Right, Kaido? Yeah. I felt pretty uneasy with what I had heard. Mr. Saijo didn't give me a chance to ask about it either. What were they talking about exactly, and who was this Meraki person? I don't know, but I got confused too, so we're in the same boat, girlfriend. But 87%. I still don't know what's happening. What do you guys think is going on? And who could have hacked us? I don't know. Mysteries of the world. Alright, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, Kaze out. Bye, guys!